I will give my 2 cents on my unfiltered insight tonight. Why this country has everything going wrong. Why we are headed to the wrong direction. Why over 60 years after independence, we are still dealing with the same problems that we were dealing with at independence. Despite having the means, the resources, the manpower, and the ability to progress beyond the problems we had at independence. We had poverty, we had diseases at independence. Today, that has more than quadrupled. The nation is sicker, the country is even more corrupt, the populace is even poorer. Over 70% of the population of the Republic of Kenya cannot afford a healthy meal. Wealth is concentrating even the more to the 1%. And more so, politicians, the very people who come to us after every 5 years for us to renew their contract in leadership positions. The reason why we have headed in the wrong direction for so long is that our institutions have failed. Name them: the executive, those in the judiciary, and those in the oversight arm of the government, which is the parliament. One, whenever a president is elected in this country, it has now become a norm that the first agenda of that administration is to corrupt the august house, is to ensure that parliament sings to their tune. Now, most of us were in a school. Supposedly, the principal, who is supposed to oversight the teachers, or the board that is supposed to oversight the principal, is in cahoots with the rogue principal. That whatever the principal or the teachers do, the board or the principal turns a blind eye to it. Will that school function? Will the problems arising out of the challenges that face that school ever be solved? Will you ever see cases of bad performance being improved? No, that wouldn't happen. Because the oversight system that is supposed to provide the requisite and necessary checks and balances does not work. Parliament has even been handed a tool against the executive should the executive fail the aspirations of the Republic of Kenya. Impeachment. But can they do it of their own cognizance? No. And I dare say they behave like sheep being hoarded into a pen. They must be politically charged and motivated. They must have a master at the helm. And it begs the question, why must we then have an oversight house that does not perform in its functions? We go ahead, we have the judiciary, another monumental failure as an institution. You're having corruption cases run for 7 years. You're having complaints against judges at the JSC just being slept on. That we never even know the results, they don't even hold press conferences. What a shame. We have another useless institution in the name of EACC, that it fights corruption. What corruption does it fight? While we are having money being withdrawn illegally, that while we are having contracts being done by the government on behalf of the people of the Republic of Kenya, with no documentation provided, without justification, without verifiability process being followed, without the laid down procurement laws being followed. We are having disparities between what people are paid in the counties and what is supposed to be paid in the payroll. I'm very distraught and disturbed today because these institutions' failures have ensured that this country has driven on the fast lane towards the wrong direction. Right now, the truth is nothing is working out well. Businesses are not working out well. Inflation may rise even higher anytime soon. And it's not even low because we have low prices in the market. It's low because the purchase power is very low. You're having businesses close down every single day. You're having companies moving away from the country because the taxation regime is inconsistent and cannot be relied upon, thereby ensuring that thousands of Kenyans have lost jobs. We've come to a point that we are proud as a country to ship out labor to other countries, Middle East countries in the name of Saudi Arabia, Dubai, and the rest. And I'm not in any way demeaning any Kenyan who works there. But is that what we are supposed to be proud of? Aren't we supposed to be proud of putting up manufacturing plants in our country that provides high-skilled jobs to our country? Aren't we supposed to be proud when we have engineers doing our roads? Then from there, we have another office that I believe should even be abolished because it serves no function and no purpose, except being just there for the sake of being in existence. The office of the DPP, which seems to be working at the whims of politicians' goodwill. I mean, does the Directorate of Criminal Investigation need political goodwill to investigate a case? Why are we a country that respects Mkubwa amesema, instead of respecting the very law that created Mkubwa's office? The institutions of this country have failed monumentally. They are dysfunctional, they work at the whims of the powers that be, and those institutions that are supposed to provide the necessary and requisite checks and balances are no longer functional. Oh, what a shame this is. That is why 10 years down the line from now, from today, we won't be at a better place than we are today. Because the failures keep being epic. Corruption has become institutionalized. For heaven's sake, why doesn't the government fight this? We go to other countries, public institutions work better than private institutions. Because the governments of those countries have deliberately put in effort to ensure that government institutions work smoothly. I mean, what would be the need for corruption if I walk to Nyayo House, apply for a passport, get it within the requisite time frame? They had told us 2 weeks. Get it within the required 14 days. Why would I have the need to even part with any amount to any government officer? If I can walk into a birth certificate office, apply the birth certificate for my child or my own, and have it out within 14 days, why would I find the need to even bribe anyone? If that police officer, when they catch me or get me having violated traffic rules, just writes me up a ticket and I go to court and answer to those charges and pay the requisite fines, why would I have the need to give them 200 or 300 shillings? If Parliament can ensure the right checks and balances, why would there be need for them to be bribed to do the right thing for the country? I mean, if the EACC or the office of the DPP were working in conjunction and doing the right thing, why would they fear a phone call from a member of parliament or a governor? Why would we have people walking free who have committed heinous crimes against this country, economic sabotage, and I dare say economic terrorism against our nation? Why would they be walking free if our institutions were working? My 2 cents would be that as a country we work towards rectifying this problem. We work towards institutionalizing change and institutionalizing workable solutions that will help this country move forward. We are really at a bad place. We are suffering. This has to be fixed. And sorry to say, I don't blame the politicians. I blame Kenyans who elect all the wrong people in the name of Mtuwetu, in the name of our friend, in the name of he has the interests of my community at heart. If only we could fix this at the ballots. If only we could wipe out the cabal of politicians that have destroyed this country for years at the ballots, we would fix the institutionalized failure. Because we are here where we are. We are where we are right now because of the failures of our institutions to function as intended and as envisioned by the Constitution. Before I get angrier, that is my unfiltered insight tonight.